안녕하세요. 여러분, 이쌤의 이유있는 영어의 이쌤입니다. 오늘은 I can read reading with help level 2. My weird school goes to the museum입니다. 네, 아래 보시면 Dan Goodman, Pictures by Jim Paillet. 네, 저작권 한 번 더 들어가겠습니다. 여기 보시면 좀 더 포커스를 맞춰서요. 네. Dan Goodman, Pictures by Jim Paillet, Harper, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. 바로 시작하겠습니다. 네. My name is Andrea, and I love school. I love tests. I love homework. I love teachers, and teachers love me. Teacher's pet. A.J calls me. He thinks it's an insult, but I love it. Who wouldn't want to be the teacher's favorite? A.J, that's who. All he wants to be is class clown. He doesn't even care that he is gifted and talented. I love being gifted and talented. We're the only ones in the class. So, we get to go on field trips, just the two of us. Ooh, Ryan said this morning, A.J and Andrea are going to the art museum together. They must be in love. Well, duh, of course we are. A.J just doesn't know it yet. When are you two getting married? Said Michael. Never, yelled A.J. Ha! That's what he thinks. Remember to behave at the museum, warned Mr. Cooper. He looked at A.J. when he said it. Teachers never look at me when they give warnings. A.J. and I took our own tiny bus to the art museum. A man met us outside. He was really old with hair growing out of his ears. I'm the museum educator, he said. Ooh, an educator. In other words, a teacher. He was going to love me. Mr. Meeser shuffled ahead. This painting was just donated to the museum, he said. Good thing they didn't pay for it, said A.J. It's just a bunch of dumb circles. I sighed. It's not just circles. It must mean something very deep and important. What's it called? A.J. read the sign next to it. Just circles, he said. Ha! It got worse when A.J. saw a statue. It's naked, he said. No, it's nude. I corrected him. What's the difference? Said A.J. I can still see its butt. I was getting really annoyed, almost nervous, I said. I like to call A.J. by his real name, especially when I'm mad. It's good practice for when we are married. We're looking at fine art, and all you see is a butt? I didn't mean to, but I said butt really loud. It echoed through the museum. Mr. Measer gasped. Young lady, stop saying that. You're acting very immature. What? But, I said, I told you, stop saying that, said Mr. Measer. A.J. laughed so hard he fell down. Mr. Cooper said one of you might misbehave, Mr. Measer muttered. Now I know who he meant. This was horrible. How could Mr. Measer think I was the troublemaker? From now on, I had to be perfect. We went to the next room. It was full of swords and shields. Tall suits of armor stood in a row. Cool, said A.J. Look, but don't touch, warned Mr. Meager. He looked at me when he said it. At me. I took a deep breath to calm myself down. I felt something tickle my nose. That armor was awfully dusty. I said. Achoo! My sneeze knocked me off balance. I bumped into a suit of armor. Clang! It fell down. Clang! It knocked over the next suit of armor. Clang, 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 clang. Clang, 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 clang. All the armor crashed to the floor. I'm sorry, Mr. Meager, I cried. Mr. Geezer? Oh, okay, she said Mr. Geezer. I'm sorry, Mr. Geezer, I cried. I mean, Mr. Meager. That's it, he snapped. I'm sending you back to school with a note to your teacher. No! A.J. tried to talk to me on the bus back to school. Look on the bright side, Andrea. Now that Mr. Cooper will hate you, I will stop calling you teacher's pet. I love being called that, you dumbhead, I shouted. At school, I went straight to Mr. Cooper. I unfolded the note. Dear Mr. Cooper, I read out loud. One of your students misbehaved at the museum today. I gulped. This was it. I started to read my name and it was me, of course, yelled A.J. He ripped the note out of my hands and crumpled it up. Oh, A.J., Mr. Cooper sighed. I'm disappointed in you. Oh, A.J., I sighed. I love you. And now I'm sure you love me too. I didn't say it out loud, of course, but it was true. Why else would he save me like that? A.J. was my knight in shining armor. Will A.J. ever admit he loves me? Will I always be Mr. Cooper's pet? Will I go back to the museum and follow Mr. Meager for days until he makes me his teacher's pet too? Of course, it will be easy. 네, 여기서 보면 중간에 버트에 이제 T 2개 들어간 벗은 네, 말 그대로 엉덩이를 뜻하는 말이고요. 여기서 벗은 뭐 하지만 그렇지만 근데 이제 발음이 똑같다 보니까 계속 이 벗이라는 단어를 하니까 이 이제 뮤지엄 가이드 분께서 그 말은 좀 그만해라 이렇게 하는 부분이 있었죠. 네. 그래서 나름 재미있는 내용이고요. 제가 중간에 이 친구가 당황해서 Mr. Geezer이라고 읽었던 부분이 있었던 것 같아요. 근데 제가 여기 처음에 Mr. Meezer라고 이제 네, 자동으로 읽어버렸는데 I'm sorry, Mr. Geezer이라고 네, 실수로 읽은 부분이 있었어요. I mean, Mr. Meager 이렇게 바로 고쳤지만 이미 화가 난 상태였습니다. Mr. Meezer은 그죠? 네, 이 내용이 재미있네요. 이 A.J라는 친구가 이 Andrea라는 친구를 좀 괴롭히고 막 이러는 개구쟁이처럼 나오지만 끝에는 굉장히 네 의리 있게 네 여자 사람 친구를 위해서 이렇게 막아줬네요. 네, 좀 훈훈한 마무리였습니다. 네, 오늘은 여기까지입니다. 끝까지 함께 해주셔서 감사합니다. 여러분, 내용이 마음에 드시면 좋아요와 구독 꼭 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.